Nurse Gem, you've been practicing as a nurse for 18 years now. How bad is it these days?
It's really bad. For patients with underlying issues like hypertension, diabetes, obesity, and others, I've, they can die in few hours right after they've been admitted. But for patients with no issues or asymptomatic, it's still bad because you can be infecting and spreading the virus to others without you knowing it. And for us health workers, doctors, and nurses, it's still very bad because we're dealing with something unknown. So how could you treat someone if you don't know what you're doing?
Nurse Gem, here in California, we have been under shelter in place order going on week 8 now. In New York, is it still being practiced? Is that helping?
Social distancing really works. Not only you're stopping because this virus will stop if the virus doesn't have a host, then it will just die by itself. So definitely social distancing helps, and it lessens the burden because there will be less and less admission, and only those who are critical and or the ones who are really needs medical attention will be brought to the hospital.
And as frontliners, you also are exposed. I know you have your PPEs, wearing masks, making sure that you're protected all the time, but there's also some space for human error. And I know that there are some instances when medical workers have been tested positive or have tested positive for this virus. And I understand that you also have tested positive for COVID.
First, that's the main reason why my department, we were all exposed because we were very careless and we were taking it lightly at the very beginning. But first, we don't know exactly how it is, how the transmission was. So I think that's the reason why we were not prepared. There's no proper PPE at the beginning.
And in order to get tested, you must have symptoms of fever. But did you show any of those?
Unfortunately, when we, not only me, when we had the symptoms at the beginning, we testing were not available, or we were, even should I say the word, we were prohibited to be tested. So 3 weeks after testing were available, so that's the time that most of us already recovered. So we don't have the symptom at all. But still, I went and I just walked in and just forced them to test me.
And what what was the testing process like for you?
Your head will be tilted up, and then a nasal swab, that's a long stick that will be inserted through your nose. Once that swab gets into the nasal bone, you will feel the starting gush of fluid or chemicals that will make you really sneeze, cough, and even cry. And both nasal layers will be tested, and there's also a danger for bleeding. It's not a nice experience at all.
It's concerning to me that you had to fight to get tested.
Yes, for the reason that I didn't have the symptom at all. You must have a symptom, at least one, to be tested.
And even if you tested positive, you still have to go to work. You're still working right now.
Yes, because our mandate, we get a memo that we should be working until critically ill. They say, even if you get positive, you just have to wear your mask as long as you're still able to work. And in fact, some of my coworkers, not only a few, but a lot of us are barking like a dog and we're still working.
Well, there are a lot of other recoveries as well. I mean, for frontliners like you, normally when you get sick, you have to rest in order for your body to recover. But there's no such thing for you guys because you're still having to work.
They worry about staffing. That's the issue. I don't know how they make that concept that sick nurses should still be able to work. They don't realize that we could be infecting other nurses and of course other patients as well.
And we thank you for that. We thank you for your sacrifice. We thank you for your service and dedication to your profession. If you can echo this sentiment to everyone that you work with, that we just appreciate you guys. And I know that speaking of appreciation, you're also learning from this experience. What are you learning personally?
I just realized first that you should save yourself, save your family. Don't go out, and don't infect others. And mostly for us healthcare workers, frontliners, experience is not a guarantee that you can take care of anything that comes out, just like this one. This is very strange. I've been through different kind of epidemic before, but this is totally strange. Everybody just die with different symptoms. Before they thought it's just pain, chest pain, shortness of breath, but now it goes to GI, like abdominal pain, diarrhea. It's just very bizarre. It's weird.
Some of the governors are already laying out plans on reopening because of the economy. I know that people are, wanting to get back to work, wanting to start getting income as well. I know that everyone's working on or praying for a vaccine, for a cure. What would be your ask to them?
I apologize, but I really have to speak up my mind. Me, I have to tell them, hopefully, they will be infected as well right now. If not, it could be their loved ones. I hope they will see death in front of their eyes, like us frontliners, that seeing death, real death in front of our eyes. Hopefully, they will feel the pain of losing somebody, their loved ones, that they cannot even be at their bedside until they are cremated, so that they will realize that this virus is not alive. This is not a hoax.
And to people that are maybe underestimating the power, maybe, oh, I'm not at risk, I'm fine, I'm invincible, I can go out, I'm young and I'm healthy. What would you say to those people?
If they have that mindset, okay, I will accept that, but stay home. Don't infect others because there are other people who are vulnerable. We have seen death very young people right now. At current, we are now seeing on 20s, 25 to 28, and even have that we have somebody who died last night at 23. So it doesn't mean that if you're young, you'll be vulnerable. It's not true. I don't believe that. That's why I don't spread misinformation. If you have that thinking, just stay home. Don't infect others. Period.
We have an extended version of our interview from TV. If you missed that or if you caught that, but then you want more, here is Nurse Gem extending our conversation here on YouTube. Nurse Gem, I know that I've asked you for a message for people that are in the powers of influence, and that was a very passionate message that you shared with us. What about a message for your fellow medical frontliners?
Especially those are affected very badly. Because there are frontliners right now that I know, who are my very closest friends, they lost their loved ones. Others, the whole entire family, because this is New York, we usually live in an apartment. So once you get sick, everybody is in the family get infected from their elderly parents and their kids. So I'm just saying, I have few things to say. First, I need you to speak up. I mean, the world will not know what is going on in our lives if you not speak up. First, and second is I need brave nurses to stay in the front. So I want you to recover as fast as possible because staffing is really bad right now. Not only PPE is getting bad, but also staffing is very bad. And we're only a few left standing, holding the front lines. So I'm sending prayers to all of you. Keep the faith, come back, and let's fight, and let's finish this battle.
For someone like you, I know that you're also doing a lot, having to make a lot of sacrifices. For one, you are in quarantine. You're living in a hotel, unable to see your family.
Correct.
So thank you as well for your service. But I know that even that may seem bad to others. You're saying that you're still one of the lucky ones because others really have it really worse.
Yeah, I spoke to a few nurses that 2 days ago when she first came back to the floor. She told me I almost didn't make it. So she was also intubated and now recovered. So and then because of that, they get very frustrated. Not only because there's no support from management. I'm not saying in one place. I work in different places. So in our other places that we work with, it's really bad. So what she's saying right now that she's quitting. Man, most of my coworkers are really quitting. I didn't see them at all. Some of them I never heard from them because it's not easy to be at the front, risking your lives to save others, and yet I mean, there's no support. I mean, probably there's no support because we're not voicing out enough to be heard so that others will give us the support that we need.
And this is the platform for you, Nurse Gem. We're airing on TFC as well, but also on YouTube, which is a very powerful platform right now. What kind of support are you asking for?
I'm reaching out to some organization that trying to reach out our mayor over here. I just heard, I was just given an update that they have the PPE, only that it was not distributed or that did not reach to some other facilities because they did not receive any complaint. Nurses are not complaining. They're not telling the government, they're not telling, of course you heard it from the news, but they want numbers, they want data. How could the government, how could our office or the mayor will know if the nurses will just stay quiet? They're complaining within ourselves during chit chat, but they're not voicing it out. They're not putting in words. They're not trying to email somebody. They're not complaining physically. So that's my point. They need to come out so that our government will know that this is a serious matter, that we need help, not only from PPE. There's so many assistance that we need. It's a long list, but please, fellow nurses, come out. We need to speak up.
Right, I know. And sardines and noodles, that's hardly healthy eating, which you guys need for energy, right?
To be honest, right now, I feel like I'm in the Philippines right now because I'm eating sardines and noodles since I've been here.
What's the word out there, Nurse Gem? Once you have it and you've recovered, like your colleague, she recovered, but then she's back to work. Can you get it again? Can you get reinfected?
There's not enough data yet.
Okay.
Me, I feel confident right now that I get positive, then tested back negative after a week. So this morning I went for an antibody test, but there's still no data that if you have the antibody, the question is how long that antibody will protect you. We heard from the past, like of course, if we have like other virus in the past, that it will give you at least 30 years or 50 years and even a lifetime. But this one is something new that we don't fully understand yet. So we don't know how long this, if I have the antibody, I don't know how long it will protect me. That's a big question yet because there's no data.
Finally, your message to regular viewers. I know you separated it. One message is if you're alive, the other is if you're infected right now. To people that are alive, although feeling helpless or sheltering in place, wanting to help but can't do anything, what would be your message to them?
For those who are still alive, I hope you will pray that you will not be infected. Stay home, don't go out, don't infect others, and please don't spread wrong information. And for those who are infected, I still ask you to pray. Keep your faith. You're not alone. Ask others for help. You will recover as I did and others did. So keep the faith.
Well, thank you so much, Nurse Gem, and we wish you the best of luck. God bless. And of course, once again, thank you for your dedication to your profession and thank you for your sacrifice for everyone.
Thank you, Florida.